Hey everyone, I'm Big John, and welcome to another episode of the Diz Ability Show live. All right, so this week I want to talk about tips for people who go to Disney who have limited mobility. First off, if you can't do a full day of walking in the parks, they do have mobility scooters you can use. But there are also local companies that will lend you one for hopefully a better price. But I don't know. I'm not sure if the scooters that Disney gives are free or not, but free is not a word that Disney likes to use a lot these days. But also in the parks, many rides have vehicles that are made specifically for wheelchairs and scooters, which I think is great, especially for those who can't get out of their little, scooter or whatnot. And if you have to get off your scooter to go on a ride, or if you're able to, they do have stroller parking near some of the rides, like the carousel at the Magic Kingdom. That way, you can still enjoy the magic. So anyway, that's my tip. As always, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later. And I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. And now it's time for this week's Top 5. So Star Wars Day is tomorrow, May the 4th. And at both Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios, they go all out. So this week, we are going to cover my top 5 Star Wars attractions. Number 5, something that Disney used to have, the Jedi Training Academy. So once upon a time, before the pandemic, little kids could try to become Jedi Knights during this Jedi Training Academy show. They would come up on stage wearing these Padawan robes and wielding lightsabers and learning to use the Force, and then even get to duel either Darth Vader or Darth Maul. But that show never came back after COVID because of the whole equity actors thing, along with other things that Disney should have brought back. Like you, my citizens of Hollywood. Like you. Hi, Starkly Asmini. Make sure you subscribe if you're just tuning in. We are currently covering my top 5 Star Wars attractions. Hi, Ann Kit. All right, number 4, Rise of the Resistance. Now, this is one of the rides in Galaxy's Edge, where you first start off being recruited by Rey to go to the Resistance secret base on Pakara, when suddenly your ship is invaded by the First Order and you're captured aboard a Star Destroyer. But then you escape with help from Finn and Poe Dameron. It's a fun ride, but it's more like 2 rides in one almost. Number 3, Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Now, this is the other ride in Galaxy's Edge. Now, the story is Chewbacca brought the Falcon to Batuu to get some supplies, but in order to get them, he made a deal with Hondo Ohnaka, who I'm sure you remember if you watched the Clone Wars or Rebels. And of course, Disney did announce that next year there will be some new destinations added to the ride, and the Mandalorian and Grogu will be a part of it as well, which I think they're trying to get away from how Galaxy's Edge is taking place between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I'm glad they are because, you know. Number 2, Hyperspace Mountain. Now, I rode this twice when we were at Disneyland a couple weeks ago, because during Season of the Force, which is what's going on right now, the Space Mountain turns into the Star Wars themed Hyperspace Mountain. And I don't know what you're talking about, Arag Dog. Anyway, as I was saying, Hyperspace Mountain, I think. Okay, no fat jokes. There we go. All right. Anyway, as I was saying, so during Season of the Force, they turned Space Mountain into Hyperspace Mountain. It's so cool because when you ride the coaster, you see all these TIE fighters going around and these rebel starships, and they play like the music, and you hear Admiral Akbar go, "It's a trap," and it's fun. I've said in the past how I'm a fan of the Christmas overlay of the Florida Space Mountain, but I think the Hyperspace Mountain overlay in Disneyland might be a little bit better. And my number 1 Star Wars attraction, Star Tours: The Adventures Continue. Now, if you've been with this channel, seen some of my videos of Star Tours, you know how they randomize each time you ride, which I think is the cool part of the ride. And I have another video of it coming up. I won't say what the randomized adventure is, but it's gonna be great. And it's just fun riding it. And before I start filming it, as we start to enter the ride, my dad and I like to make predictions on what combinations we're gonna get, because that's the fun part, the unknowing. So let me know in the chat or in the comments what your favorite Star Wars attraction is. And now it is time for Diz or Dat. Now, on both coasts, they run the Magic Band system a bit differently. At Walt Disney World, of course, where it started, it's pretty much everything. It's your park ticket, your room key, your ride ticket, and it does a whole lot of interactive stuff. And at Disneyland, you gotta understand that the Magic Band is still kind of new at Disneyland. So it's mostly your park and ride ticket. And they've been testing the Magic Band, the special Magic Band entrance when you enter the park. But of course, they also have to scan and your face as well. And you still have to use a card key as your room key. But there's not a lot of stuff you can do with it on the West Coast. But they said they're going to add some interactive stuff when the 70th starts in a couple weeks. I missed it by a month. So let me know in the chat or in the comments which coast does the Magic Bands better. I'm sure I already know what you're gonna say, but I want to know your opinions anyway. Disneyland, or DAT, Walt Disney World. And now it's trivia time. So last week we asked how many happy haunts are in the Haunted Mansion. The correct answer was 999. Congratulations if you knew the answer at home. And now here is this week's trivia time question. What is the name of Rapunzel's pet chameleon? Be the first one in the chat or in the comments with the correct answer, and you will receive 100 cool points. So, yesterday, Disney has announced Cool Kids Summer, a special event going on through the end of May to the end of August. And it's going to feature some special offerings in all 4 theme parks. Like, for example, at the Magic Kingdom, there's going to be some acts at Storybook Circus, like with jugglers and still walkers. But I bet you they won't bring back the Giggle Gang. And at Epcot, there's going to be DJ Stitch in Communicore Hall, and they're going to be doing something at the Disney Junior Dance Party at Hollywood Studios, and the Dino Institute intern band doing sing-alongs at Animal Kingdom, just to name a few of the offerings. So, but I am wondering when exactly they're going to announce the dates for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, because we're going in October, and I think we want to know when it's gonna, and know what offerings we can be on the lookout for this year. For those who don't know, we did Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party for the very first time 2 years ago, and we are looking at doing it again this year. So hopefully we get some information on that very, very soon. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen, how this Cool Kids Summer is going to work out. So anyway, that's our show. As I said, if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, let me know in the chat if you're watching this live, or in the comments if you're watching this later. And I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. For this week's shout-outs, make sure you guys check out Justin Scard. He does great videos from theme parks and other places all the time. Definitely check him out. Also, make sure you guys check out Maria over at LBV TV. She does great vlogs and live streams from the parks. Definitely check her out as well. Also, make sure you guys check out Samantha Lowe. She does live streams from the Garden Rocks at Epcot. Definitely check her out. Also, make sure you guys check out Princess and the Bear. They do great food blogs from the parks. Definitely check them out as well. If you haven't subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And ding the bell for notifications so you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, may the mouse be with you.